Welcome to Out the Trunk with Jordan and Darius. My name is Darius. That's D's I Love Your Area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. That's Jordan be writing on all socials.
This is our segment where we like to tell you guys what's on our mind, what we saw throughout the week, what's going on. Quick question. A friend of the pod and I were talking earlier. When is pre-gaming too much? Because I had to tell her that I draw a line at this. At what
Okay.
point is drinking in the parking lot outside of the venue a bridge too far for you? I guess that's a leading
Like,
question.
okay, well, yeah. So is this like the whole pregame is the parking lot, or they pregame at the crib and then they took a sip at the parking in the parking lot?
However you want it to be.
Okay.
Dealer's choice.
Yeah. Like, okay, if you're just taking like a couple sips or something like that, I think that's fine. If you're like, you know, that is your pregame. That's a problem.
You know, we want to have some cocktails at the crib before the venue, by all
Yeah.
means. You want to hit a dive bar before the venue, by all means. Drinking in the out the trunk of the parking lot of the venue is just a bridge too far for me. That's just
Uh,
college. That's too
yeah,
much. And
I get that.
I
Now, if the place is like overpriced,
well,
that's
well,
kind of
that's
valid because it should be going up sometimes.
no, no. I'm not shooting liquor in the parking lot of the venue to save. Cause I just no, I'm not doing it. And people can call me bougie. They can call me whatever they need to call me. I'm not doing it. I just that is beneath a gentleman of my stature. I'm not doing it. Like, not not drinking alcohol in the parking lot. I mean, you can go.
That's
If
funny.
there's an Applebee's across the street, we can hit that. You could pregame at the all of that's fair game. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she was like, well, so that's why you get a flask. And I'm like, Mama.
Okay, so I know exactly what
This
and who you're
is
talking about. Yeah.
um it's like flask, be a lady. It's like you
Um,
using a flask? Oh my God.
well, okay, so
You drinking corn liquor out of a flask?
so if it's for like pre-gaming for like an event that does not have liquor,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? Like if
I
you
will
if you
call
say
that's
you're
of
like
course.
like if you're going to like a wedding and then you know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
kind of customary. I think that was definitely one of the events that because I know you're talking about that we did that
Okay.
at.
Okay. One thing. How much of a buzz do you need to catch where just going from the crib isn't enough? Like, okay, we used to do it to where, all right, the club is 10 minutes down the
Yeah,
crib. We're gonna take a shot literally as I'm closing the door and locking it.
right,
I don't
right.
really need a shot in the parking lot after that. We straight.
No,
Like I caught
that
my
makes
buzz,
sense.
I'm good.
So for this situation, if I'm talking referencing the specific event that we were at, or one of the events that we were at, it was the weddings were out of town, so we
Okay.
were we were not home. You know what I'm saying? We drove there the day of, get there, change, shower, dress, whatever. Da da da. Then you head to the venue, and then you just kind of if they had it on them, that was how that came about. It was not. We weren't going to like the club.
She didn't tie this to no specific event.
Okay,
She
well,
just this seemed like her modus operandi.
and
Uh,
it very well could be. It very well could be. I'm not even going to pretend like that's not a possibility.
um, I was a bit flabbergasted at the whole.
So how did it come about? What was the context of you asked them or they asked you? Like what?
She asked me what the conversation. Okay, so it was like it started with touchdown in a new city. She runs errands, and I'm like,
Okay,
I don't really run errands when I touch down in a new city.
you do
I
before you
just
get there.
eat before I get there or whatever. And
Mhm.
she was like, "Well, you need bottled water." And I was like, "Okay, I can see the vision for that." Normally, I
Yeah,
use the bottled water from the hotel, but that's cool. And I was like, buying liquor for the hotel room, especially if I'm just touching down for a few days, like I end up just throwing that liquor out because
right,
you're. It's not like you're just sitting in the room drinking until you go out at night. You're moving around during the daytime too,
right.
and you're just. I've tried it. You buy the 2 bottles of liquor, you buy the 12 pack of beer, and it's day to pack up to leave, and it's three-fourths
And then
bottles
you just have
full.
a bunch of shit that you can't do
Can't get
anything
rid
with.
of
Yeah.
because you move around. You wake up, you might have a little shot with your breakfast, but then you outside, and it's like I'm
Right.
not going back to the hotel room to take a shot. So you end up just wasting that shit. And she
Fair.
was like, "Well, that's why you get a flask." And I was like, "Time out." What are we talking about, ma'am? You have a flask?
Uh,
I was like, okay. Then I just, I exaggerated. I took it a little far. I'd be like, you in the parking lot drinking cheap liquor and burping and rolling into the venue with your overalls. Be a lady. No, so she did not say that part. I made up that
No,
part,
no, no,
but
for
she
sure. Yeah,
did bring
yeah,
up the
yeah, yeah.
flask, and I was a
Okay, yeah,
bit
that,
taken aback.
yeah.
I,
I've seen the flask. I've probably used it. That's funny though.
oh God.
No, that was more so like, oh, we're heading into the wedding or something like that. Quick one. Uh, in my experience. Yeah.
You ever been out with a young lady and she broke out a flask?
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, wait. Okay. Wait. No, they were friends, so that didn't count. Um,
Okay.
but
Uh,
yeah, no, not like on a date. No, 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 no,
be like, is everything okay at home? Why are we? Why do you have hard liquor in your purse? I like to drink as much as the next man, but I don't need it. Like it's not like chapstick. I
Right.
don't grab it.
Yeah,
Grab your
like
keys, grab your flask, grab your chapstick, grab your wallet, and you hit the
yeah,
door. That's a little
the
much. That's
the
a little much.
the mobile pre-games, those were not mobile, that's poor choice of words. The pre-games where you had kept something shit in the car, that was like college, like shortly after undergrad type shit, where you were going into clubs broke and yeah.
You know, I agree. But at our big age, I think it's a big
Yeah,
draw to be shooting
yeah.
liquor in the parking lot. Did you watch the halftime show?
Yes, yes, I did. I did not watch the clan show.
Um, y'all gave them more attention than they even got on naturally. Uh,
Right.
see, you mentioned that before Bad Bunny. You're part of the problem.
No, I'm kidding. Nah, no, I watched it. I watched the halftime show. I loved it. I thought it was great. Um, I think one thing that people forget is that music is universal. That's
Yeah.
like one of the only things. Music and food are literally the only universal things on the planet besides the need for oxygen. And so I feel like you don't have to know the words to kind of understand the sentiment or understand like the spirit of the song. That last song he sung, I don't know, I didn't know look at the words he was saying, but it felt like it was about joy and unity, and that was the vibe that I got, and that was the spirit of the performance. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it was great. I love the homage he paid through, as he literally took you through the history of Puerto Rico with the sugar plantations and the bodegas and the like the hood mechanics basically, you know what I'm saying? Even there was the one little store had the sign that said we accept EBT.
Yeah.
Yes, that is important. You know what I mean?
I do.
Ricky
Elle
Martin.
Duncan made a good point on Twitter. She said that
Yeah,
he
she did.
understood that it's hard, it would be much harder for people to follow you just pacing around on stage in a foreign language. And so
Correct.
he kind of visually told a story. And I thought that
Yeah.
was an astute observation. So
Yes, absolutely. Even the everybody noticed the Spike Lee dolly shot
yeah,
where he's kind of coming up, the famous scene from Malcolm X right before he is killed. I thought that was awesome. Ricky Martin was there. That was
yeah.
great to see him still doing it after what 20, 25 years. Um, Cardi B was there, Pedro Pascal, Jessica Alba, hello. Great job as always. I loved Lady Gaga's performance too. The salsa rendition
Yeah.
of what's the song called? Die Without You or something like that. I forget what it's called, but I
Fuck
do
if
love
I
that song.
know.
Well, I
Uh,
love that song with her and Bruno Mars. That definitely wound up on my Apple Replay playlist of last year. Yeah, I thought it was incredible. I thought it was great. I love that he didn't speak a lick of English, other than God Bless America. Um, I love the flags at the end. And then I believe it was the Martin Luther King quote that he had posted in the back behind him.
Something
Thought that
about
was
love
great
and
as well.
hate, something like that.
Correct. Yes. Only thing stronger than hate is love, or only love can drive out hate. One of the two.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I thought it was great. It was awesome. It was fun to watch. Um, it reminded me of like all like in school, kind of the fun shit you would do in Spanish class and stuff like
Yeah.
that, where they have the piñatas and they you know the Morocco's, not Morocco's. Wow. What are they called? Oh,
Fuck
I'm
if I
blanking.
know. Uh,
Fuck. But it just
Chi
reminded me
the
of
mariachi band things.
yeah,
Um,
they no the it's like got like it's like shaped like a cylinder, and it's got like beat like something like little beads in it, and you shake it and it makes the sound. I can't. I'm
I know what you're talking
Morocco's,
about.
right? Yeah, I think that's it. But yeah, it just reminded me of like the culture we were exposed to as children, and when we were taught back in the time in this country where it was okay to celebrate other cultures. Um, it just reminded me of that was the best of what we are supposed to be. So I thought it was great. I loved it.
Well, you can't say it was okay to celebrate other cultures and nigga performing at the Super Bowl.
Fair.
I think that's I don't know if there's any bigger stage.
Yeah.
But no, I was a bit of I say like a halftime show moderate. Like I definitely think
Hmm.
it was a bit odd to choose an act who performs entirely in a foreign language. But
Hmm.
like at the end of the day, it's a 15-minute concert. Like
Right.
I survived. I
Right.
enjoyed it actually. And at the end of the day, every single thing doesn't have to be programmed to my
For
sensibilities.
everybody.
Like
Right.
it's fine. It's a 15-minute concert. Part of the problem with the world today is that no one ever everything is algorithmically programmed to you. And so no
Hmm.
one's ever exposed to things outside of their,
Bubble.
sphere of influence. And so it's good that we still have these things because there's a few songs of his that I added to my playlist that would have never came across um
Yeah.
anything in, because I'm not exactly listening to Spanish music, so Puerto Rican rappers, if you will. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it is in Spanish. So yeah, I was exposed to something I had not seen before. I enjoyed it, and that's the part of that's what's a lot of people didn't know who Usher was until he hit that stage, and so that was a chance for
Yeah.
something that was near and dear to me as I was coming up to be exposed to people who weren't exposed to it before, and so
Hmm.
it's one of our last pieces of monoculture left is the Super Bowl, and it was good
True.
at least for me to at least for everybody to be exposed to something that they were uh, previously unaware of. I do want to say one thing though.
Yeah.
People, my one of my favorite internet bits is people act like things. A lot of things people think are very unique to their culture are quite universal. My
Hmm.
favorite thing is like, everyone thinks that occasionally gathering together and having a huge decadent meal is like very specific to them.
Hmm.
Like Italians would be like, "Oh no, in Italy, in Italian families, we get together once a month and have a giant pasta meal." And it's like, yeah, we Sunday dinner, soul food. Like people do that.
Right.
Yeah. Mexican people do it too. Like it's not like everyone does this. So
Like people have families and communities.
yeah, like and so like people were like, "Oh my God, he had the kid sleeping at the wedding and he woke him up," and they were just like, it was so Latino that a kid like passed out at a wedding while the adults party, and I'm like. That's at black weddings. That's at white weddings. That's
That's it. Yeah.
it's the kids are at the weddings and they're not up. They're
They're
just
asleep.
sleeping. Yeah, they're sleeping wherever they lay because
If
there's
the
no
kids are at
beds at the
church, they're
wedding.
asleep.
Correct. Like kids just be sleeping because parents they can't, leave them at home anymore. So,
Right.
I just love that because you'll see like Italian people do the same thing with like large dinners and be like,
Hmm.
no man, in Italian families we get together at grandma's house and she cooks a big dinner and I'm like, oh.
Oh, what's that like?
No one ever does that. That's strictly for Mexican people. I never heard of
I
that
don't know
before.
what that is.
Um, you had something you wanted to throw on me, man? What's up?
Yeah, so I had a suggestion for you because we were talking about baby names Saturday, and I wanted to get your thoughts on Darquavius.
What started as like it's kind of a bit, but it's kind of not. But
Uh-huh.
no,
That's horrifying.
no. The girl Dariana and the boy
Yeah.
Dariano are real names.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Dariandro and Dariandra are kind
Andre.
of like
Yeah.
65% serious.
Got you.
Um, Dariante is I'm not really into that one.
Yeah.
Um, Darionphilus though, uh,
That is
that's the full
that's
on
trash.
troll.
That's trash. That's yeah, that's some Game of Thrones shit right there. That's what you name a fucking dragon.
Um, I forgot how that conversation. Yeah, I can't tell you how that conversation came about, but
I think I could do the math.
no, no, I'm not breaking news on the pod that I'm aware of, but
No, I know, I know, I know.
um, no, I think I thought like you can't have a girl junior, so and I never wanted to have a
Right.
boy junior because it's too much to too much pressure on the kid, so. Dariandro, I'm sorry, Dariano and Darianta are gonna
Mm-hmm.
be the boy and the girl name. You have any names in mind?
I mean, I like I mean obviously I do like J names. I
Yeah.
do like unisex names. I always loved the name Jamie for some reason. Um I think I'd maybe give like my first name as a kid's middle name, something like that. Let's see what other any other names I have I've thought about. Um yeah, I don't know. I haven't really given it too much thought. I mean, I think if I was like in a relationship, I probably would have given it had some more answers for you, but just off the top of my head, I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought. Yeah, I don't know. I hope
Uh,
that's not something that I have to think about at least for another 3 to 5 years, Lord willing.
I I had a joke I gotta tell you off air.
Yeah.
But no, I've had these names for like 10 years, Dariano and
Hmm.
Dariana, and those are locked in.
Yeah.
Because I you should be able to name your progeny, and I get first dibs on the
Yeah.
names, and those are gonna be the two names, boy or girl.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought about it. I've thought about like how many and like what if I could have like pick like what I want like two boys, two girls, like that sort of thing, you know. I don't know. I think somewhere between 2 and 4 would be great, depending on my financial status at the time. I don't know.
It's actually what I've heard from people with big families is it actually gets cheaper the more you have because you have you already own so much of the stuff.
Right.
And so it's actually easier to scale up food for people
True.
versus, cooking for one is actually the most expensive way to cook unless you buy a vacuum sealer like me and have a freezer full of random things that are labeled and frozen and vacuum sealed.
Yeah,
So,
and I think also I feel like everyone, for the most part, the people that I know, the amount of children they had are close. Is always close to the number of siblings they had growing up.
yeah.
Like my parents, my dad has 4 brothers. My mom has 2 sisters and a brother. Obviously, well, not obviously, but they have 4 kids. Their parents all had not lots of siblings, but a good amount of siblings. Um, so yeah. Also, twins were in my family, so odds are me or one of my siblings would probably have a twin. So, a set of
Yeah.
twins. So yeah.
Well, that got deep out of nowhere. So
Yeah.
we got our baby names, we got our size of our families, and I want I'm kind of trolling on the Tays and the Andros, but the
Right.
the Annas and the Anos, those are dead ass names. And the
That is
Dariopolis
good
is
to
just
know.
a straight
I
troll.
I will go ahead and get started working on that for when I buy the Amazon the Amazon onesies for the
There
for the
you go.
kids.
There you go. Um, I saw this online, and you've seen this often where people are like, don't sell grandma's house.
Yeah.
Grandma buys a house, it's in the family,
Soul
it's
food,
paid for,
basically.
soul food, basically. If you've seen the movie, Granny
Yeah.
dies, the house is split between the siblings. What are your thoughts on selling Granny's house?
Um, I think I'm I think I'm always pro keeping it.
Okay.
Honestly, we don't have a lot of, we have a lot of traditions in our culture, but we don't have a lot of heirlooms. We don't have a lot of uh things to pass down more often than not. And I do think having some sort of like central place for everyone to come to is important. And actually, I was just watching I think it was the Button Pod maybe or something a couple of days ago where they were talking about how like for whatever reason, even if the family is not and the grandmother is not like the stereotypical matriarch for whatever reason, usually when a grandmother passes, the family kind of splits up, and I feel like it's easier to prevent that to happen if you have somewhere central where everybody can be like, hey, let's get together for this Sunday dinner. Let's get together for this Cousins Giving, that sort of thing. Yeah, I'm just really big on like keepsakes. I have a lot of my grandparents, most of my grandparents have passed away, and I have something, that I keep from all of them, So if I could have kept, you know, their house, I think I would have fought for that.
I guess my question is always, who's gonna stay in there? Who's gonna take care of it?
Yeah,
Because it's not free to just own a home. Like there's taxes, there's
right,
insurance, there's maintenance. If no one's living in it, you have to winterize the thing.
right.
And also how much is the home worth? Because let's just say, you know, you just say you got four siblings. And so each of
Hmm.
you has a 25% stake in this home and it's worth, $500,000, 400, $500,000.
Right.
Um, it's a lot to ask to just pass on 125,000 each cash.
That's true.
Like they lived their whole life there.
Yeah.
I think people often overestimate how much like they're gonna spend there. Like you're really gonna go
Hmm.
to this abandoned home and eat Sunday dinner every like,
Abandoned
I don't really, like no, who's gonna live there? Who wants to live there though? Like you're grown, you're going to start your family, you're gonna start having your
Yeah.
kids. Who's gonna be the sibling or the child who just stays in granny's house?
Well, I was thinking someone was living there. So,
But who would do that? Who wants to put their life on freeze while they
well, if people are in the city and someone like does live there, like I mean, in theory, someone she's having a caretaker anyway, so
right?
probably someone probably is living there. So, um, in that situation, I guess. But I mean, that's a good point. If everyone's in other cities and states, okay, logistically, obviously, that's one thing. But if you have the option and you are local, everyone's local, I think that makes more sense. I think it makes
Even
more
a
sense to keep the house in
home,
the family.
even if you're local, if someone's not actually living in that home, it's a lot of work to maintain, to keep. And life be lifing. It's hard enough for
That's
people
true.
to make time for the things that they have to do in their home. And so now you got to tell me that we have to, amongst four siblings, let's say y'all all live in the same city, we have to coordinate a
Right.
maintenance schedule. Okay, oh, now y'all falling out because so and so ain't been taking care of the duck, didn't clean the
Yeah,
ducks
right, right.
last
The
week,
the
and
air
then
vents
you
and
you're
yeah.
responsible for mowing the lawn. Okay, well, who called the person who's doing the siding? And it's just you're
Yeah.
adding a large plate of new decisions you have to make, in addition to all four of you branching out and living your life and starting your families. And it's
Hmm.
like you could do that, or you could sell it and y'all could all get some cash and have the, I mean, the memories are forever. You can't take the memories.
No, for
Uh,
sure.
you
Yeah.
got the pictures, you got the stories, you do one last lap in that motherfucker like a sitcom. And and I am not pro or against it. I think
Hmm.
what I'm against is people finger wagging and chastising those who do decide to sell.
Yeah.
Because it's not as easy, especially if you don't have someone that's willing to live there. Now, if you got
Yeah, that
someone
makes sense.
like if you watch Soul Food, Bird and Lim, they lived at Big Mama's house, and so no
Right.
one's breaking into a home that's occupied. Well, they can, but it's less likely to be. You're less likely to deal with vandals and burglars and this, that,
Right.
and the third. And there's someone in there to make sure that the pipes are, that you're turning the heat on in the winter. Because it's easy to think you
Hmm.
won't forget until it's fucking 25 degrees and you got your kids in bed and you lay down and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, I gotta go to Big Mama's house and turn the heat on.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
That's a good
it's
point.
easy
Like
to
if
think you're
we're
gonna remember all these things.
yeah, like if it's a situation where like this Christmas where the mom was kind of getting older and the kids
Yeah.
were starting to move out and stuff and well they were thinking about selling the dry cleaners, not the house, I believe, but and it was only the one kid that obviously always stays home that was kind of taking care of everything and they wanted to sell. In that situation, I would probably back I would back the sibling who
Yeah.
stayed. Um
It
for
just
sure. So it,
depends.
it it's a sticky situation. It really depends on all. There's a lot of variables at play here, but uh, I think if everyone's central and someone is living there or can live there or wants to live there, I think they should have the option to. Um, but honestly, I never really had like the stereotypical like grandparent experience. So a lot of this, like, yeah, I haven't really dealt with a lot of this kind of stuff.
We had Big Mama's house. It was on a slide. It was on a hill in Vicksburg, Mississippi. None of my
Hmm.
mom's siblings live in
Live
Mississippi.
there.
And the city actually was going to like they bought it out. Like there's no, we didn't really have a choice. And so you got a
Got you.
little, it wasn't worth much. They got a little check out of it, but
Hmm.
um, it's just, I think it's easy to have these like hard and fast rules when they're in theory, but like when it's in practice,
Right.
you actually have to make these decisions, and you're like, dude, you know, you got a family, I got a family. Our sister moved to New York. She ain't thinking about this
Right.
shit. And it's me and
Yeah.
you. And so after baseball practice and after making sure Junior's homework is done,
Hmm.
this is something else I got to do every day.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot to
Yeah.
ask. I think people should be able to make those decisions, sans judgment. I don't really have a hard, fast yes or no. I think each situation is unique to that family, and I don't like when people be like, "Don't sell Big Mama house." It's like, well, you don't know what they got going on.
What they got going on? Do they need the money? You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. Yeah, in that situation, I feel you because I'm not big into telling people what to do. I'm more so like if it makes sense, if we can, let's try to. If not, we did what we could at least.
What I will say is that if there is one sibling that stays there and takes care of the house, their chunk should be a bit higher than equal share. So, if it's four siblings instead of 25, 25, 25, or four 25s, it would be, I don't know, like
Yeah,
the sibling that actually lives there has like 30 and the rest split the
like
70 or whatever. I don't.
the three
Yeah.
have the
So
20%.
you get an extra little slice because there's take living there is just a higher burden and a higher responsibility of taking care of it than just the person who drives by and makes sure the roof ain't got blown off.
Correct.
It's Valentine's Day. You wanted to do something for the pod for Valentine's Day. What you got?
Uh, yeah. So, I mean, we're big music lovers, and we haven't done really a music segment or topic in a while. I've kind of put the Sunday dinner segment on hold. Uh, so I wanted to ask. I was just thinking about like kind of what are some of your favorite love songs of all time, or what do you view as the greatest love songs of all time,
The greatest is
or even just like dark horse songs that maybe people don't consider.
all right. My favorite one no one ever talks about is Isley Brothers Tears.
Okay.
It's on I forget which album it's on, but what did he say in the he closes out the second verse with I used to think that I knew love and what true love would mean, but now I know that I didn't know much because you taught me everything. That's a great line.
Yeah,
He
that's
starts a
beautiful.
third verse, I think, with "Oh God so loved the world that he blessed us all with you, and then he gave me a heart and I'm giving it to you." Also a great line. So that would probably be my dark horse one that people don't talk about often. So, what is your dark horse love song?
Ooh, let's see. I got a few here. I would probably go. Mm, damn. I'd probably go Let Me Love You by Sinead Harnett.
I haven't heard that one. I don't even know who that is.
It's like 7 or 8 years old. It's like relatively recent.
Yeah.
Um, no, that song is beautiful. It's got like that kind of 90s R&B feel to it. Um, that shit hits. Like, just don't ever listen to it if you are like actually going through active heartbreak and you have your ex's phone number. Just don't do that.
All
You
right.
know, they say like don't drink and drive. Like,
Well, yeah. Don't don't drink and listen to this song and text and I got you.
yeah,
A lot
that's
to
rough
unpack
mailing.
there. What's
No,
her
I said
name?
Drake and drive, not drink and drive.
Okay. I thought you said drink and drive. What's her name?
Sinead Harnett. Sinead Harnett. Let me send it to you.
All right. What else?
Let's see what else I got here. Um, Can You Stand the Rain? New Edition. That's one of my favorite love songs of all time. I feel like no one ever talks about that when they talk about great love songs.
Is that
Um,
a love song?
is it? I view it as a love song.
Sunny days, everybody loves
Everybody loves
them. Can
them.
you
Tell
stand the
me,
rain? I
baby,
thought
can
the
you
rain was
stand?
a bad time though.
Yeah, but I mean, their bad times are inevitable, and you need someone who has the intestinal fortitude and like,
On a perfect
I
day,
think
I know that
people,
I could count on you, but that's not
yeah,
possible. Tell me, can you weather the storm? Because I need somebody. Who's gonna count them? Yeah, I mean it's not the most romantic, but it is a lovely love song.
Fair.
Uh,
Yeah, I think I like as a moody poet, I do love the darker love songs, some of the sadder love songs. Yeah, plus I think like it always makes me think of this thing I heard somebody say once that they're talking about love and relationships. They're saying you need to find someone who suffers well. Like you need to find someone who knows how to handle adversity.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Are they going to be with you during grief? Like this person is supposed to love you through your best and your darkest days. Like in theory, this person is supposed to be by your side, like when your parents die and shit like that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's real heavy shit. And if they can't handle something significantly less than that, then what chances do you have of making it through the rain?
that's fair. Okay. I mean, yeah, Can You Stand the Rain is a love song. I got Prince's Adore on here. Great line, love's too weak to
Nice.
define just what you mean to me. It's a millennial remaster, we'll call Miguel's Adorn, which
Yeah,
is same way that same way that the stars adorn the sky, same way my whole world's in your eyes. Gotta love those lines.
yeah,
To me, it's obviously music is mostly about how it makes you feel, but when it comes to true love songs, the
yeah,
songwriting is really what carries for me.
yeah.
How about you, man? What else you got on that list over there?
Um, let's see. I got 1,000 Years, Christina Perry. Um, you ever
Never
heard
heard
that
that
song?
one. No.
That's crazy. What? That song is amazing. I've died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love that song. That's a beautiful one. 1,000 Miles, Vanessa Carlton. I know you know that one.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen White Girls. Shout out Terry Crews.
Shout out Terry Crews, man.
She would walk 1,000 miles. Um,
Yeah, I love that song.
I prefer love songs that make love sound easy. So
Interesting. Okay.
you know, Love Ballad by LTD, I've
Okay.
always said that would be the song that's played on my first dance at my wedding.
Mm.
Um, Lovers come and lovers go. They're not there when you hold me and tell me how much you care. So shout out Jeffrey Osborne.
Yeah, one of the greatest.
To bring something that was created after I was born. How about The Point of It All by Anthony Hamilton? I like old people
Oh
music,
yeah, that's
man.
a
I
good
don't
one. That's a good
really.
one. I love that one. Yeah, I wanted
Any
to go with more modern because I figured everybody's gonna do it like try a little tenderness and
I like to think that outside of Miguel's Adorn, I've stayed kind of sort of. I mean, the point of it all, Anthony Hamilton, but yeah, I listen to old people music, man. Anybody that started singing after 2000 is real hit or miss
Yeah,
for me. What else
I
you
feel
got?
you. A song called Game of Love. It's probably close to damn near 30 years old now, which is crazy. By Michelle Branch, and it has Santana on the guitar.
Okay,
That shit goes hard as fuck. Trying to remember some of the lyrics. See, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It started with the kids who wheel up to that. Damn, I can't remember the rest. But I know I love that song. My dad used to play it all the time when he like pick me up from school and stuff. So it's always associated with good childhood memories. Trying to think of some other good love song. I mean, there's a million. Um, Brown Sugar, D'Angelo,
that's a good one. D'Angelo, Lauryn Hill, Nothing Even Matters.
yes.
Now the
Music Soul
skies could
Child,
fall, not even if my boss would call.
yeah, that's good.
Just me. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry. The
no, you're good.
podcast on accident, opening my phone.
Um, Teach Me, Music Soul Child.
Yeah,
I love that song. Have you heard I Refuse by Urban Mystic?
I've never. No, I have not.
Oh my
Um,
God, it's phenomenal. It's like the story behind the song is like basically guys and don't know he runs into like his first love from like uh high school whatever so childhood sweetheart and they kind of reconnect. He said this line he says it's been 10 years since we both graduated. I still can feel how we both celebrated.
yeah. Music Soul Child has a cheesy one. Don't change. People love that one.
Yeah, I
It's
love
a
that one.
little corny, but it passes the test. I don't like. 'Cause, I don't like. 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 That was good. If Only You Knew, Patti LaBelle, something else that was made before I was born.
Mm,
Love that one. Um,
for me, Sunday kind of love.
yeah, that's a good one.
Um, that's that. I love that song. I'll just take a drive on like a literally a Sunday and just bump that shit,
Well,
or like a weekend afternoon.
Well, shout out to all the lovers out there. Fellas, football season is over. Take that girl out. Even if she says she doesn't want to go out, you have to take her
Yes,
out. You don't have to go on the day, Saturday and Valentine's Day. That's a tall ask. You're gonna
that
get
is a
terrible
lot.
service. So if you want to move that to a Sunday or a Thursday, that's totally within fair game. But you do need to take her out regardless of what she says. You could swing by
Yeah,
the grocery store, get you a little $20 bouquet of flowers. It ain't gonna kill you, um, and take that girl out. That's she deserves that. So go ahead and do that for
yes.
the fellas and listeners. Let us know which songs you recognize more of, me or Jordan. So because we could not have more diametrically opposed lists, and I need to know what our listeners who our listeners
Yeah,
relate to. So happy Valentine's Day to all the couples and the lovers out there.
yeah. Shout out to all the lovers out there. This one's for you.